All right, one of the new features that came out in QuickBooks 2016 was the bill tracker. So how do we get there? So we can go up to vendors, and then under vendor center here we have bill tracker. Okay, so it's going to pull up here. In the bill tracker, it is a report-based system, right? So it has to pull up and load for a second, possibly if you have a lot of stuff. So you just want to be aware of that. Along the top here are all interactive boxes. So I have 4 open purchase orders. If I click on this box, it's going to show me only my purchase orders. Or I have 6 open bills. It'll show me only those bills and bill credits, as you can see here. And then if I'm ready to go back to normal, I can just say clear show all on the corner. Okay. If I had overdue bills, it would show me that here. Any bills paid within the last 30 days, it would show that here. All right, under the vendor area, and paid within the last 30 days is going to be based on your system date, your computer system. Okay, so Brenda's framing, up top here, vendor, I can filter by just a particular vendor. So if I wanted to filter for just Brenda's framing service, I could click on that. It would only show me Brenda's. I could click on type, right? So these are all the types of transactions that you can see in this list. Purchase orders, bills, item receipts. That's really important, right? If an item receipt hasn't been turned into a bill, if you're not using enhanced inventory. So that's an important one. Vendor credits, unapplied payments, meaning you've paid a vendor but it's not applied to a bill. Credit card charges and credit card credits, bill payment, checks, credit cards, and checks. So lots of types that we'd be able to see in here. What this is kind of similar to is in the vendor center, right? When we look at the transactions area, right, we were able to see some of these. So checks, purchase orders, etc. But this is showing us open transactions. Okay. All right, so we can filter by status. So open, overdue, we can look at the paid ones, and then by date. We also have a group by area, so we can group these by vendor. And then if you want to see the details, right, you can click the little arrow on the side to see the details. So it's helpful, right, when we're looking at that because of things like the bill and the credit to be applied to each other. Okay. These columns here are sortable. So I can click on the column, it'll sort by that. Once I select, I have a select all here, right? Once I select a couple of transactions, I do have per line on the side some actions. So on bills, I can say copy bill, print bill. When I've selected a few, I do have batch transactions down here, so I can batch pay these bills. So instead of going into vendors pay bills, this is another way to go ahead and pay your bills there. Okay. And then, of course, if I click the pay bills, it's going to take me to vendors pay bills. So anyway, but it's a faster way to get there. Okay, no. All right, for the credit side, we can print the credits out of here. The biggest one that I think is the most impressive is under purchase orders, and I can't wait for them to do this on the income tracker for estimates and sales orders. So if I select multiple here, I have the ability to batch close purchase orders. So what's awesome about that, if you have a whole bunch of old purchase orders, so you say, I want to see date, last fiscal year, anything dated in last fiscal year, I want to mass select, or look at purchase orders only, mass select them, go in and close them out. So cool. I think that was the best additive. Sometimes we have some of that old stuff in there, and the previous way to do it would be to, of course, open up the transaction, mark it as closed, save and close, go to the next one, open it up, mark it as closed, save and close. So this is obviously much faster. So again, batch transactions that are possible, we have print, purchase orders, close, and then when you select different transaction types, of course, there's going to be different batch actions in there. So pay, when we go to pay bills. You also have the ability to come in here and create new, right? So you can create new from this screen. The one thing to really note with the bill tracker is that if you come in here and make changes. So let's say I added an extra bill or a purchase order gets added or whatever. Because this is kind of like in a report format and it doesn't refresh automatically for you, basically you have to, in order for anything to be live updated to current as of right now, you do have to close out of it and then go to vendors, bill tracker, reopen it up, and any live data would be picked up there. So there's not like a refresh button in there like there are on reports, but you do have to be aware of that. So if you just entered a bill or yelled across the room to Sally in payables to enter that bill, you don't see it in here, make sure to close out and then go back in and open it up. Okay, that's the bill tracker.